Amir Albazi won that fight, whether you like it or not. We've been on the wrong side of these decisions, but last night we were not. Amir Albazi got the victory, split decision style, over Kai Kara-France, and people are upset. We'll break down this fight and the rest of the card next.
Broadcasting live from an undisclosed location. This is the Community MMA with your host, Chris Cross.
Boom with a left. Okay, good. Boom with a left. Let's go. Let's go.
Everybody's upset. Everybody's upset. Everybody's upset.
Whoa.
Everybody's upset.
Good morning and welcome to the Community MMA, where everybody is upset today. Everybody's upset because Amir Albazi beat Kai Kara-France just like I told you he would. And I know what you're thinking, Chris Cross, it was a robbery. It was a bad decision. Kai Kara-France won that fight. Did he? I don't think he won it in dominating fashion to say it was a robbery, but I get it. I've been on the wrong side of these before. When you do look at the numbers, if there was a point scoring system, I got to hold firm. As I said in other decisions, Kai Kara-France might have won that fight, but Amir Albazi had a lot of control time too. And when it goes round by round, anything can happen. And when they showed the live odds last night, it was heavily in favor of Amir Albazi after round 3. I don't know why. It seemed like he lost 2 of the first 3. But nonetheless, here's the reaction. I didn't think we were getting this one. I'll be honest, but check this out. Kai Kara-France and Amir Albazi headed to a decision. And Amir Albazi fought well. Maybe he can get a split decision out of this. That's the best case scenario, but Kai Kara-France dominated 60-40 in head strikes, 89-51 in significant strikes, 122-65 in total strikes. The only thing helping Amir Albazi is the round-by-round situations. He looked good in the third round, decent in the fifth. That's about it. But he did have over 6 minutes of control. But not, that would be a lot if it was a 3-round fight. But since it's only since it's a 5-round fight, that's not going to cut it. So here we come. Both fighters coming together. Oh, yes. 48-47 Kai. Split. 48-47 Albazi. Oh my God. Come on. Yes! Yes! Whoa! Yes! That's what I'm talking about, baby. Amir Albazi with the split decision victory. And maybe, in the middle of the 4th round, they showed the live odds and it favored Amir Albazi. And the commentator said, how is that possible when Kara-France is dominating in strikes? And normally that would be the case. But there had to be a lot of people saying that he might be winning this fight. You had 2 out of 3 judges give him the win here. And listen, at the end of the day, he gets the win. I know a lot of people are going to question this, be upset with this potentially. If you're a Kai Kara-France fan, if you're a Amir Albazi fan, you're going to be happy. You know how it goes. And I don't know if this is a highway robbery or not, but at the same time, Amir Albazi walks out with the victory. He's going to move to 17-1 over Kai Kara-France, who's going to lose his number 3 spot. Albazi's going to jump to the top 5 for sure after this win in the flyweight division at UFC Vegas 74. We'll take it. People asking why such a crazy reaction to a fight that was a robbery. Well, that was my prediction. Right? Our prediction is that Allbazi will win. We've had fighters, like, if you go to the same situation and we say Kara-France was going to win, I'd probably be really upset today. So I'm just trying to be fair. I would be highly upset because he dominated in the stats where it counts, 122 to 65 in total strikes, 89 to 51 in significant strikes. Had 2 takedowns to Albazi's 1, but Albazi controlled the fight for 6 minutes, which is really just 1 round in a 5-round fight. So I can see why people are upset. I get it. I get it. And of course, you had a couple people weighing in. You had Passion Fruit say, how can you be so happy with a fighter getting robbed like that? One judge had Kai losing round 4. Absolute BS, man. AWEF says Kai got robbed. UFC is corrupt. Colby John, interesting reaction. Yeah. Got a lot of people weighing in on this one. Stratego King. Allah bribed the judges. Marcus Taylor says, you're the man. Yeah, I mean, listen. I get the reactions this morning. I get it. I'd be highly upset if Carl France, if I picked Carl France to win. I mean, I would. How else can you say it? It is what it is. But Amir Albazi fought well enough to sneak out a split decision victory in the eyes of the judges. There were a couple of close rounds. I mean, it was really 2-2. You could make the case 1 round was really close, probably went to Carl France, but 2 judges say Albazi. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Now, last night you also had Alex Caceres in the co-main event getting the win. This guy's won 7 out of 8. And I told you when he was 14-12, he's got the potential to still do some things. And he's went 7-1 in his last 8. And you've seen this from fighters where they struggle at first, and they start reaching that peak age, and they're peaking. They're getting better all the time, and that's what Caceres is doing. And I didn't realize he was ranked 15th in the featherweight. He should definitely get a fight in the top 10 in his next outing. So very happy for him. You had Jim Miller, who had a lopsided fight last night with a late arrival, like on a day or 2 notice. And, I mean, it didn't last long. We said it should be done under 30 seconds, and it was. Both fighters touch gloves here. Jim Miller, Jesse Butler. And as I said a moment ago, this should be 30 seconds or less, man. I mean, you got a guy, Jesse Butler, coming in, taking a fight late notice against the veteran Jim Miller. Jimmy Boy's about to finish this guy. Let's go, Jimmy. Boom with a left. Okay, good. Boom with a left. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Yes. That's what I'm talking about, man. And that's how you do it. You're supposed to be the guy that you're supposed to be. You're supposed to beat him down. I don't know if that made any sense. But what I'm saying is you go up against a guy that you're supposed to beat, you got to beat him, man. And that's what Jim Miller did here. He came in and finished this guy in way less than 30 seconds. Let me get the official time. It's still not up yet. But Jim Miller jumps on top of the octagon. And, he's not going to celebrate too much because he did what he's supposed to do. Yeah, Jim Miller last night did what he's supposed to do against a guy taking a fight on late notice. Jim Miller, may not beat the top dogs, but he's still a great fighter. I mean, you're talking over 50 professional fights, taking on a guy making his debut. It just wasn't fair in that situation. But sometimes you see those fights, they go the other way, and it happens. Like last night, Naimov versus Mullarkey. It didn't go the way of the veteran. Now Mullarkey pins Naimov against the fence and landing some big rights now. Naimov spins out of it just in time. Man. Come on, Mullarkey, get it together, man. Oh, spinning kick nearly misses by Naimov. I'll tell you what, this guy's got some skills, man. Mullarkey better be careful with this dude. As I said, we got Mullarkey winning, but these guys coming in on debuts are hungry. Oh, a big right! Mullarkey's down! It's over. What just happened? What just happened? And Mullarkey gets up in protest, but he took a shot and then a few hammer fists. And he's not happy with Herb Dean at all. But listen, I'm not questioning the stoppage by Herb Dean. I mean, it was pretty quick, but Naimov landed some big shots, man. And that's Mullarkey's fault. Naimov. Yeah, and that's the way it went. I mean, big win for Muhammad Naimov. I mean, he came in his debut and got things done. Then you had Dontel Mays last night with a huge finish over Andre Arlovsky. I did not see this coming. Check this out. Dontel Mays doing a good job in his fight against a veteran Arlovsky so far. surprising. All right, we had Arlovsky winning this fight. It's pretty even so far, but expected Arlovsky to be ahead already, but he's not. 2:10 left in round 2, and some big shots now by Arlovsky. 2 big right uppercuts, and Mays just kind of takes it and lets out a grunt, like, bring it on. So Don'Tale Mayes kind of holding his own here at the 2-minute mark. And the thing with Arlovsky is he's constantly leaning forward, man. He's putting his chin out there. And that's just kind of how he fights. And he takes a big right from Don'Tale Mayes. And now he's pounding away. And Mark Smith wastes no time and jumps in there. And he wipes the feet. And that's going to be a signature win for Don'Tale Mayes. That's one of those on the resume, a name that people recognize. And it's not a guy that you often see get KO'd like that. Yeah, so Don'Tale Mayes really surprised me last night with that win. Again, we had Arlovsky winning. You know, sometimes I'm looking at the resumes and I'm looking at how many fights these guys got and the veteranship or the veteran that Arlovsky is. I thought he'd get the job done. But you got guys like Don'Tale Mayes getting better and better with each fight, and he's still got time to make moves. I mean, he's still young enough to where he can make moves and get the job done. So as we look at last night, and how many times do you see this? You see the prelims to the right. We went 3 and 4. Could have been a lot worse, but we salvaged 3 and 4. Then we lose Bubakar Nurmagomedov in the first fight of the main event. So now we're 3 and 5, and then we go on a 5-fight win streak. How often do you see this? As we get later in the card, we get better and better in these final, especially the final 3. But we got Kareem Silva, Tim Elliott, Jim Miller, Alex Caceres, and Amir Albazi. 5 in a row. And that's why we're so pumped up about the reaction. Is we wanted to finish with 5 straight, and we did. So we'll take it. I mean, we'll take that decision all day, every day. Especially in this setting. We're 8 and 5 on the night, 14 and 4 in the main event. We were 16 and 2 last year. 2 years in a row, we're off to a great start. I mean, one of these years we're going to fall off the cliff, but not right now. Overall, 138, 77, and 3. So we're really pushing out the wins now in the overall record. And I'll put our record up against almost anybody. Please believe it. Please believe it. So as we march forward, you got the Ultimate Fighter going down in a couple of days. You want to take a look at this week's fight between Trevor Wells and Timur Valiev. So let's get into that prediction right now. In the bantamweight division at the Ultimate Fighter 31, you got Team McGregor taking on Team Chandler in every fight, but this one especially. So for Team McGregor, he's got the prospects in both divisions. So here in the bantamweight division, he's got Trevor Wells. Team Chandler's got Timur Valiev. And in the first fight, Team Chandler dominated, and you're probably going to see that a lot in these first 8 fights in the first round. But let's get to this one. Does Trevor Wells have any chance as the prospect? He's 27 years old. He's 5'7". He's 8 and 3. 2 of those 8 wins by KO. The other 6 by decision. So who are the 3 losses against? Guys I've never heard of. Chris Ocon, Carlos Hernandez at LFA at 93. At least both of those were by decision. He was KO'd or TKO'd by Joseph Dorado. But that was back in April of 2019. So he's come a long way since then. And one thing to his resume is he's won his last 4 fights. So he's getting better as time goes on. Now, Timur Valiev, big advantage here. The guy's 18 and 3. He's 5'6", so he's 1 inch shorter. He's got a 67-inch reach. He fights right-handed. Now, we know a little bit more about Valiev. Like, he lands 5.2 significant strikes per minute in the UFC. Okay. He lands about 2 takedowns over the course of 3 rounds. So you can expect him to get 2 or 3 takedowns here if necessary. Not really good takedown defense, 55%, but that shouldn't matter here. In his last UFC fight, he lost to Jack Shore by decision. But what a great fight. 3 takedowns to 2 in favor of Shore. Valiev led in significant strikes, 72-70, so a very close fight. Before that, he beat Raoni Barcelos and Martin Day. So why is all this important? This guy's facing off against UFC fighters and winning most of the time, and then losing a close decision against a very good fighter in Jack Shore. Is Trevor Wells even close to Jack Shore? No. This is why Team McGregor up and down the card, minus 1 or 2 guys, one or two prospects that will probably be better than we think. But when you're facing off against UFC guys like veterans, what do I always tell you when we're doing fight night predictions? Most of the time, the vets win. Now, in the last 3 or 4 weeks, it's been the opposite. But that's not going to continue, especially this is a big disadvantage in this fight. I mean, Timur Valiev is a real bantamweight fighter. He could very easily win the whole thing, but he's especially winning in the first round. If he doesn't win by first round submission or KO, I will be surprised. I like Timur Valiev to dominate here. Just dominate. He's going to land 7 or 8 significant strikes per minute as this fight goes on, as it, if it does go on for very long, and he's easily going to win, likely by finish, to move to 19-3. Team Chandler's off to a 2-0 start, in my opinion, in the bantamweight division at the Ultimate Fighter 31. And I stand correct. I don't know if these fights are official or not, but Timur Valiev is going to dominate here, and Team Chandler's going to go up 2-0. If Valiev loses this fight, I'll lose my mind. It'll be a shocking finish if he doesn't win, because he's just way better than Trevor Wells. And I don't know what McGregor was thinking, choosing the prospects. We've talked about this time and time again over the last several days, but McGregor got the prospects in both the bantamweight and lightweight divisions, and those aren't divisions you want prospects in. Those are the divisions you want the veterans. Please believe it. And McGregor will be lucky to get 1 or 2 out of 8. And that's probably why you're starting to see some of the clips of the frustration from McGregor, because it's coming. But we'll be back probably Tuesday or Wednesday to give you some reactions for the Ultimate Fighter, to look forward to UFC 289, Nunes versus Aldana. It's all coming, man. It's all coming. It doesn't stop. They said last night 4 straight months of UFC. Oh, goodness. That's going to be rough. But we'll get the job done. We'll get the predictions pumped out. This is your boy, Chris Cross. Hope you have a great day, and God bless. As always, peace.